Welcome everyone to another weekly update. It's Sunday, the June the 18th, after the market closed on this Friday the 16th. And this is where we look at the big long-term picture as well as the short-term picture. Big picture, so we can just see where the whole market is going, bull market, bear market, and avoid things like another 2008. That's for everyone's sake, whether it be the actual overall economy, real estate prices, most of all your pension or your nest egg. Because all that money goes into the stock market, whether you like stocks or not. You have to be interested in what the stock market's doing. For short-term traders, this is where we try and get the wind in our sails. Generally speaking, buy trades, we need the market to be going up, and sell trades, we want the market to be going down. So let's look at the big picture first of all. Usually I look at the S&P 500, but this week I'm going to look at the Nasdaq, which is this market here since for the last few years I'm seeing. The thick line is the the average price for like the last 40 weeks, and then these little vertical things is the actual price of the market zigzagging over time. And what we can see is after a brief interruption here in end of 2015-16, this market just kept on trucking ahead higher and higher on expectations of a greatness that have yet to be seen. But we don't stand in the way of a moving train, and that's exactly what it has been since last November, without even a reasonable correction since in all that time, which is unusual and somewhat unhealthy. The reason I'm looking at the Nasdaq is this is the most extended one of them all. You can see how high it is above this moving average line. As you can see, it tends to sort of trace it, but you see how far away it's got, and things always come back to the mean, at least back to the mean in the end. So some kind of meaningful correction has got to be happening here soon. Even if it just comes down to around here, that's going to be quite a drop, but the market will still be in extremely healthy shape. This is a very aggressively upwards pointing trend. Make no mistake about that. We don't fight the trend. Let's zoom into the daily chart. This is day by day action now of just the last 6 months. Each of these is a day up and down during the day. The market's closed, and then the little peg across there is where the actual finishes, the price finishes. This is the last 50 days average and the last 200 days average, which was the blue line you saw on the other chart. And what we're seeing here is definitely signs of wobbling, because these big red bars here, we've got a couple there, and the last one was on Friday actually, indicating that there is large selling going on. What can happen at times is the large institutions are dumping one thing while moving on to another, and there is definitely a lot of concerted selling going on in the Nasdaq right now. But on the other hand, if we look at the industrials, which tends to be not so much technical stocks, but industrial type things, then we actually get seeing the opposite. So money is shifting into those in quite a big way, and you see the opposite here. We see lots of buying volume going on. So it's interesting. There's obviously a lot of shifting going around in the expectation of something. We're moving into what is historically, in all my research, everyone talks about October being the sort of volatile months, but my research is really July and August. That's just a statistical fact. We're going into that now. People obviously, structuring their portfolios in a certain way to get ready for something. So that's where we're at though. Big picture though, it's undeniable. If I go to the S&P 500, you cannot argue with technically that this is a bull market. The big picture is going up, and that the short-term picture is still up. And I know I've been doing this for what seems like donkey's years now, but actually is just like last November. A meaningful correction is on the cards at some point. I'm tired of saying it, but there it is, and it's going to be healthy and a good thing. Individual stock trades though, really the sort of things that we've been researching and doing very well on, it really doesn't matter about what's going on with the market. The system that I'm going to be explaining at the seminar in London on the 30th of June, 1st and 2nd of July is like nothing we've ever seen before, and the average gain is 72.8% every time. We're talking about a landmark game-changing event. I cannot wait to be explaining that, and it's only going to be explained to the people in that room with me. The invitation is out now, and you really need to be there. So I hope to see you then, and I will speak to you next week.